I guess we'll just go live. I'll just go live. It says I'm live. So, see, Gary's here. Leslie's here. I missed you. Leslie, I missed you at the Worn and Wound WindUp Fair in Chicago. Need to make sure that doesn't happen again. Jeffrey's here. Eric's checking in from Lynchfield Beach, South Carolina. Oh, I got talked into doing this live. Somebody else needs to come run this for me. See, Ginger Down Under's here. John is here checking in. Tim is here, and he was at the show. And I got your knife boxed up, Tim. I'll be mailing that out to you. Sean is here. Tennessee Mike is here. Bean Boy. Nate Dogg was actually at the show, too. Whoa, got a bunch of comments. Nate Dogg was there. He was there regulating. Waka Waka. I see you didn't wait for me to go live. Yeah, I don't wait. Luke is here. Enrique's here. Let's see. Jonathan checking in from Louisiana. Dr. Bob's Nightmare is here. Rufus is here. Fedora Gent checking in from the West Coast. How much to outsource? Random Rob. Yeah, right. Larry C's checking in. Nice job with the video you posted up, Larry, of the root beer float on how to make a root beer float. He built a root beer watch and then ice cream to put the watch on it and then poured A&W root beer over it. Very cool. Andrew checking in. Thanks for being here. Curtis checking in from Canada. Let's see, here's Paul. And we're going to talk about Paul. I have some of Paul's watches actually over here on this other screen. So it's cool to meet Paul in person and hang out with him. Let's see. Michael's here. Kevin's here. Brendan says, hey, Robbie, it was great to meet you at the show Saturday. Yes, it was very good. If I remember right, you live up in Madison, Wisconsin, I think. I'm really bad with names, but like we talked for a little bit, so I think I didn't mess that up. Nolan checking in from New Hampshire. Cecil's here. Excited to hear about the WindUp show. WindUp show was awesome, and I got a bunch of video. It's going to take me a million years to get it all sorted and everything. It's going to be ridiculous. Joe and the Badgers here. Thanks for joining us. And yeah, Fedora Gent. Next up is Mimos. That's I better double check my date. That is August 26th in Long Beach, California. So if you are in the Long Beach, area or within a reasonable travel time from there and you want to meet up, come on down to Mimo's Jewelry, downtown Long Beach. Yes, the Chicago WindUp show was fun. Got me a souvenir. Big thanks to my buddy Josh. And if you can drink Malort straight like that, then yeah, there's something wrong with you. Yes, Chicago was fun. I didn't like get crazy or anything or tear it up or stay out late like some other people I know. I was invited. I could have went, but you know what? Sometimes, I gotta like dial it back and sleep a little bit so I can be somewhat productive the next day. I don't know how those guys did it. They're younger. They're just younger guys. Tim says, I should have driven, Rob. You were right. Flight delay 2 hours. Boom. See? Man, I knew it. I told you, Tim. If it's 8-hour drive, flight was delayed. Yeah, screwed you. You can't trust flights these days. Sean says the WindUp was fun. Flew up from Texas. Bought a Dufresne watch and a pair of boot shoes. I didn't even look at the boot shoes. I didn't even look at those, Sean. Also, did we talk? I can't remember if we talked real quick while you were there. Oh, get this. John says he thinks the hipsters are into Malort. I think that's a sign of the apocalypse. I think you could be right on that. My buddy Josh Carter is here. Yeah, because actually I was talking to Josh about that and like the whole Malort thing. He's, even Josh said, because he's local there, he's like, yeah, there's people that like straight up drink it. They say they like it and stuff. Listen, if somebody tells you they like Malort, just turn and walk away, because there's no way you're going to have a productive conversation with them. No way. So it's nasty, nasty, nasty crap. It's a joke, you know. Like I'll do it. Like if if you're there and we're hanging out, we're having a good time, and we want to do a Malort shot, I'll do one with you. But like, Malort is something, you keep a bottle of it, and when you have guests come over and you're hanging out or whatever, just pour them a little shot of Malort and just kind of sneak it to them. Be like, check this out. This is something I picked up in Chicago. That's it. That's all Malort is. You don't drink Malort. Yeah, Gary, 100%. Stick to the bourbon. That this cup is hilarious, and I absolutely love it. There's not Malort in here. This is actually a local distillery. I met up with the distiller, the guy that is doing the distilling, and we had such a good conversation, and now we're like texting and hanging out a little bit here and there. I actually bought him a bottle of Malort because he hadn't tried it, so I got it for him to like have on hand. So yeah, he gave me a bottle of this whiskey that he made, and it's great. It's actually really good stuff he's making. Bean Boy says stick to Acid Cat. I forgot. I didn't forget about that, but I couldn't remember what it was called. So Bean Boy picked out the evening spot while we were in Louisville, and I don't even remember what that bar was called, but it was very much a dive bar, and they had a drink on there, and I was just in a mood. I was like, whatever, because all the other drinks had descriptions, and Acid Cat basically said, buy the ticket, take the ride. You had no idea what was in it. So it was pretty ridiculous. Ginger Down Under says, never heard of Malort. Sounds like Ouzo back in my younger days. It's probably worse. It's wormwood. If I could mail you a bottle, I would, but there's no way it would make it. It's a citrus-based liqueur, isn't it? Yeah, I mean, maybe. Oh, Billy's saying it was called Expo. It's just called Expo. Yeah, and when they're not open, even when they are open, they look like they were kind of like condemned. I don't know. Malort is nasty. Don't drink it. You're welcome. But the thing is, the curiosity is going to get to you, and you're going to be like, all right, fine, whatever. I gotta know, and then you're going to go try it, and you're going to go, okay, yeah, I definitely checked that box. I'm not doing that ever again. Paul says everyone was so nice and awesome at the WindUp show, including Rob. I mean, what'd you expect? Super fun and highly recommend. Yes. Actually, there's going to be a show closer to where Paul lives, and I can show you that. Actually, let me do. How do I do that? Boom, like that. Okay. So I had brought this up because I mean we already kind of covered a lot of the stuff, but and I can't really go over the pictures. But there is another show in Austin in the kind of in the beginning part of November. It's called the MicroLux show, and I'd been to one in 2018 in Chicago, and I think that was kind of in the early days of them doing the shows. So I'm curious to see how they evolve, because there's definitely an opportunity for some of these watch shows to expand and get in some brands that maybe are regional to certain areas or whatever, but at a more affordable price for the brand owners. Fedora Jet is asking, so this is the big issue, right? Is MicroLux worth it? Well, I think they do one in LA, and like you're not super far from that one. So yeah, I mean, it'd be worth it for you to go to that one. But is it worth it for you to like fly to Chicago or fly to Austin? I don't know. I don't think there's any cheap flights into Austin. That was the biggest problem I was talking to Paul about. Like, so if I fly down for this show, I'm basically gonna have to fly into Dallas, rent a car, drive 4 hours over to Austin. And I don't know, it's probably not really worth that, but But then, yeah, I mean, you can go to Austin, like you can add that into the trip. So that's a good point too, right? So there's other things to do and see in Austin for sure. So that's something to consider as well. You don't have to necessarily go there just for the watch show. You can go there and get the watch show. Need something in the southeast. I agree. I absolutely agree. So trying to think. I had a lot of very candid conversations with some brand owners about some of that stuff. And I think you're going to see in the future, probably not this year, maybe some this year, but for sure, probably uh, 2024, you're going to start seeing some, you know, more like pop-ups. You might have like 4 or 5 brands tied to it. It's not going to be a big watch show, but they're going to be regional. So if they're within your area, then you definitely go check it out. Scott says, I don't know. Austin is pretty mediocre city. Lived there for 3 years. I've never been there, and one day I will. So maybe I could tie it to this. We'll see. I don't think I have any travel plans set up for November. David checking in from Montana. Dane says you don't want to be in the southeast now. You northerners would melt. Yeah, it's like scorching hot. It's hot almost everywhere. It's really comfortable here now, right? It's in the mid 70s. Atlanta, actually, Eric, one of the conversations I had, Atlanta was actually brought up, and I think Atlanta, I would probably just drive to Atlanta. I don't know that I would fly. I'd probably just drive. And if that watch little thing kind of gets set up in Atlanta, I might go to it. I'll reach out to him, and if I find out more, I'll get you guys that information. It's all orange guys. Probably in Miami or Tampa areas, larger cities. Okay, so he has let's see if we can learn about the sign up. See, I don't know if he has the brand. So the person I know from MicroLux is Rich, and he has a YouTube channel, but I don't know that he spends a whole lot of time on it. He was, so I'm not sure what he's doing. I need to reach out to him, but okay, so there's Austin. They already did. Oh, these are older ones. 22, 20. Those are older shows. So they did a show in Austin last year. So these are pictures from the show in Austin last year. I mean, it's free. So can't really complain about that. I mean, Zodiac was there, which makes sense. There's some really good Texas brands. So Paul says, I'll pick you up in Dallas, Rob, and drive you down, barbecue on me. Well, that takes care of some of the logistics. Howdy, brave sailor. Dane says a watch show in downtown Atlanta is too risky. Do it in the Cobb County where the cops still enforce the law. Yeah, that's stuff that all has to be considered for sure. See, that looks like maybe Fossil was there because I mean that's Fossil. There's, like I said, there's a bunch of good brands down in the Texas area. Looks like they got some cool artwork wherever they picked their venue. It's like a art studio too. Looks kind of crammed. You can kind of look. There's not a whole lot of space there. So, of course, Jack Mason's there. They're down there too. So, pretty cool stuff. Pretty cool stuff. Let's go back to this view. All right. Mark is here checking in from the East Coast, Baltimore area. Pros. JP Seiko. Is the Austin show like the Chicago size? Well, it'll be like it'll be like all their other MicroLux. There's going to be some brands there. I mean, I don't want to pick on them too much. There's going to be some brands there that most of us in the chat, like, sure, we'll go look at them and stuff, but none of us are, for the most part, looking at buying a $3,000 unknown brand or something that's just, we're going there for the other micro brands like, Dufresne or, Jack Mason or the Zodiacs, or I forget who else is down there I know I'm forgetting some people. Actually, David, you're correct on that. I agree. Salt Lake City would be actually a pretty cool place. This downtown Salt Lake City, like if you get really a nice venue downtown, is actually a really nice area. Mike checking in from Miami. JP says everything's bigger in Texas except for the MicroLux show. I don't think it'll be a big, huge show. Paul says a little smaller than Chicago. Tim cleaned up like I did in San Francisco. Yeah, Tim bought a few watches, and actually Tim won a watch because a bunch of us went to, let me go back to actually, let me see if I can find, I'm not sure how to, let me go here. Not sure if this is, if they have a website. All right, let me share my screen. So the Gray NATO guys, them in conjunction with Citizen Watches, hosted a get together like a block away from the WindUp show, and they had like free food and they were handing out drink tickets and they did a raffle and everything. Well, Tim ended up winning a pretty cool Citizen watch, which he has for sale now because it's just not one that he's going to wear. And got to meet the Gray NATO guys. I'm super, like I said, I'm super bad with names. I tried to listen like my whole drive back, which is like 5 hours or so with traffic jam and stuff. I listened basically to their podcast, just try to catch up on some of it. But if you go to, okay, there's show notes. I've never looked at their website. Oh, okay, they have their episodes right on their website. I was listening to them via Spotify though. July 6th. Yeah, they've talked. I mean, they're very easy to listen to. It's very casual. Yeah, Greg was actually there with me. I like to hang out with Greg when he goes to these shows, and he's the one that was like, Rob, get over here. Everyone's over here. So I'm like, all right, let's go. So we blasted over there. Josh, Tim, and I, and met up with Greg and everybody else, including the Gray NATO guys. So that was awesome of TGN to do that, put that on, feed everybody, get them, start their evening off right. And then, some people went off and did karaoke. Some people actually went and chilled in their rooms to relax. So that was cool. What else was I going to talk about? I feel like I took a detour and then I don't remember where I was going in the first place. Okay. Sean is talking about, see, I didn't go explore any of that stuff. I legit, like, I went over to a breakfast place. I think that was Sunday, actually. I did that. Saturday, I drove over, but Sean said he went over to a Cobra Lounge brewery. There was a bunch of really great places all over Chicago to go check out. So that's on you if you get a bad experience, really, because everything's there. Greg says you wish you'd relax. You can relax now that you're home. Fedora Giant says, any releases of note at WindUp? Well, see, I can't talk about some. I mean, I could probably talk about them, but I get the behind the scenes things. So I got some information about some cool stuff. There was some cool stuff there for people to see for sure, but there's some cool stuff coming. There's always cool watches coming out. Let's see. Floridian says, interesting to hear the guys say Oris folks were not that engaging, but Fortis knocked it out of the park. The Fortis guys are very easy, even with their, like, I don't want to say language barrier because they speak English very well, but that's not their native tongue. So even with that, they were like super upbeat, super happy, super engaging, super informative, and want to tell you like everything about their brand. So it was awesome to meet up with those guys again and just chat with them. The Oris, you got to understand, you can't pick on Oris at these shows and say like they weren't engaging, because certain booths just get overwhelmed, and Oris is one of them. And actually, Islander Watch But Mark and his team had like a smaller booth, and there was 3 of them working it, so they could like they could rotate through and really like they weren't able to keep up with the crowd that was at their booth, but they were able to keep up and maintain a certain level of energy. So whereas Oris had like a bigger booth and maybe not enough people working it, so it's very difficult. I forget what was the other one. Christopher Ward. Christopher Ward was kind of the same thing, where like it's just they get so bombarded, that it's difficult for them to keep up. So Andrew says Laurier and Ben Ross was my favorite booth. You know what? I videoed those and I kind of glossed over them, but I've talked to those guys so many times, and they don't work with me. So like I constantly reach out to them. So like I don't want to say I don't waste my time, but like I've seen their watches. They're not interested apparently to send in watches for me to video to share with you guys. So I would rather spend my time with the brands that want to support the community and my channel, and not really waste my time with those other brands. I have nothing against Laurier or Ben Ross. I'm not saying that at all. But what I'm saying is just for sure the Chicago trip, I wanted to just relax a little bit. I actually got behind the booth at Tsao watches, Tsao Baltimore watch, partly because Alan and I had half joked about the last time we were talking in San Francisco, because he goes by himself. He lugs all this stuff by himself. And I'm like, man, I don't know how you do it, but like, I'm like, well, if you need a break or something like that, I'll step behind the booth a little bit and work it a little bit. Well, I think he actually did need to go take a bathroom break. So I'm like, well, just go ahead, man, and I'll man the booth for a little bit. So I did. No like real customers came by. It was mostly just the people that I was hanging with took the opportunity to kind of like take over the booth, and we were just checking out the watches and everything. These new Pilot ones. Side note, I am 100% going to order one of these. I'll show you which one. I want the GMT because why not? And I'm gonna get the. You wouldn't think like I'm looking at the picture even now, or rendering even now, and I wouldn't think this would be the one I'd pick. Like I look at these renderings and I'm like, the stainless steel with the green or the red actually is really cool. Maybe the white, but in person, this is the one I'm gonna actually buy. It's titanium, it's DLC coated, so it's lightweight, it's super rugged. I think he's got an actual photo right here of it too, and I got some pictures and video too. In the purple with the black case, for me, I don't know why, it just works. So and I love the GMT. I like the extra crown or the wart. A lot of people don't like that on the Omega, but this one's useful. And a huge, massive crown to operate the movement on the right hand side. Just a great looking watch. Yeah, there you go. I think he was making some changes. I can't remember what he said he was going to do. He was going to change. I think he's changing one of the cities on the chapter ring, the inner rotating chapter ring. Probably putting Baltimore on or something. I can't remember. He was just doing a little bit of changes. They're on pre-order right now. And it has the NH34 in it, which some might argue, $600 for an NH34. Like, you know what? Forget you, man. I like the NH34. That's what I wore today was the NH34 in the orange GMT. So it's a perfect size. It's a great watch. He says it's 15 millimeter tall. It did not feel 15 millimeter tall. That's weird. Anyway, that's the one I'm going to order. And I don't have a purple watch. So fair enough. Sam's dad mustache says, I refuse to buy their watches because I don't like Maryland. Like all of Maryland, Guinness is in Maryland. That's pretty cool. There's some really cool stuff in Maryland. Let's see. Savannah says, Random Rob, have you heard of Signum before? I have one. I actually have a Signum. Let me find it. And let me do this. So yeah, I have a Signum right here. This is a Signum, right? This is the full lume orange dial. I think for the price point, they're really good. This is titanium. There's something about it, like in hand, that it just doesn't feel right. But then when I get it on wrist, it wears very good and it wears very comfortable and it just works. And I love the full lume orange dial. So yeah, I don't know. I'm very happy that Mark, who's in the chat, actually gave me that watch. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't have experienced it. Paul says also random people came up to buy the watch I was wearing or offered me to buy their watch. So I think you might be talking about this one, Paul. And I legit actually tried to buy this off Paul at the show. There's a blue, like a teal blue or a baby blue one on eBay right now. And I got offered to buy that one for like 300. So I like the orange one, but I might have to just get a different color one because Paul doesn't want to sell me that one. Let's see here. Monta's green. Yep, Signum. I think it beat all the other watches in the Lume Wars. Oh, interesting. Interesting. Probably not that orange dial one, but I don't know, maybe. Yes. We'll check that one out real quick. So as far as purple goes, I think the purple on the Tsao works because it's on the black case. Otherwise, sometimes purple dialed watches can be a bit much. But Brendan, you're right. The Dryden no, it wasn't one of those. It was it a new Pathfinder? Wait, does he even what the heck watch was it? Does he even have it on his website? It wasn't the Heartlander, was I don't think he has it on the website. Because it wasn't a chrono. Huh. I don't think he has it on his website. Oh, it's a prototype Pathfinder. Okay, so it's a new Pathfinder. It's got more of a like a textured dial to it, and it has like a gradient purple. So it's like a little more purple in the center, and then it kind of got black towards the outside. It was very good. I'll see if I can get Jerry to send me some watches here soon. Yeah, it's not on the website yet. But then if you like in stark contrast, I will say this looks good too though. If you go over and I didn't spend enough time there. I should have spent more time with the Formex guys, but their booth was like crazy busy too. But they just released all these colors. And again, these colors are bold and they're wild, but dang it, they look great on the black cases. Let's go to, is it, it's not 41, was it? Oh, Greg just, I probably can't show that. I'm not that savvy. Okay. Greg's sending me pictures of the dial, but I don't think I can like show it to you guys. All right, how do I get to all the ones with the colors? What? It's not. Is it the 41? I don't think it's 41. I thought they were 39s. Oh my god, you're killing me here. That's a 43. Yeah, the Montas are good looking too. I'm in watches. Oh, it's these. Okay. So if you look at these, like even in the purple, I mean it's bold, but for some reason to me, my eyes like it works with the black. Oh, these are 43 millimeter. I didn't think they were that large. But yeah, I like the colors. Those are all on pre-order. Oh, they're limited editions too. Yeah, those are pretty cool. Who else? Somebody else. It was just for Grimace's birthday. Matte purple, or is that just the pick? I think they were matte colored. I didn't spend too much time on them. Yes, they're so. I know they're not cheap, but this is the suspension case. It's, it's not just a regular, and they're limited edition, so you pay more. What was the other one I'm trying to think of? We might be moving out of color too. I don't know, because I didn't see a ton of color pushed. They're doing some a little more subdued with some of it. I think who else was. The Citizen watches are great. Actually, real quick, I'll talk about, if you guys can still hear me. I'll try to bring this over. So last live stream, Paul had asked, what 3 watches would I buy for $1,000? And I'm going to do a different video on this, but I just want to show you real quick, because I'm waiting on one to show up. But we had a crossover. Paul and I had a crossover. So I'm going to show you what Paul picked. Paul picked this guy, the Islander, whatever it's called, in this beautiful gray dial. Love this pick. When I started looking at Paul's watches, I think he picked very good, like solid picks. Then for the diver, he picked the Citizen full lume dial sex watch, I call it. But it's got the puffer fish mating ritual thing embossed into the dial. It's hard to see it, but this with the blue with the black works really good. So that was his diver pick. And then to round it all out, he picked a Dryden. You had to pick one of these Drydens because these are only like $279. So a great pick on that. Beautiful blue dial and bezel. So I picked a Dryden as well. I'm waiting for Jerry to send it to me. But I picked the black case with the warm tones on it. And then, so I had picked, for my diver, I had picked this Islander. And I know it's going to be controversial and stuff like that, but this is my watch. Mark's actually sending me the diver one, or the one I picked. I just love this. I love this look. It looks like a Pogue, but it's a diver. It's just, it's all, but it's everything, but it's nothing at the same time. That's my pick for the diver. My field watch pick was actually like all around EDC watch was the Raven Airfield in this gray dial with a yellow seconds hand or the orange seconds hand. Steve, the owner of Raven, actually assembles this watch. So that's pretty cool too. A nice little touch to it. So a great watch on that one. And then, like I said, I picked up the Dryden. And then I cheated a little bit, went over budget, and I picked up this G-Shock because G-Shocks don't count. It's only $100. It doesn't count. So I added that to my three watch collection to make it actually 4 watches. I'm doing a giveaway with mine in the future, but I got to do the video on all of them first. Oh, and then the Raven too. I liked them so much that I bought one for the giveaway, but I bought bumping stuff. I bought this one for myself. So I bought myself a white dial Raven Airfield with the orange seconds hand. So I own one now too. Yeah, that Dryden. Listen, those Drydens, he's gonna run out. Those are only $279. That's ridiculous. And then Paul also cheated too because he negotiated the prices. I did not negotiate the prices. I did the experiment as if it was the full retail price at the show. So it was $279, $420, and then $299. So I spent $1,000, and then I bought the G-Shock, which was like $100. So Paul cheated. I didn't, so I win. Let's see. The Raven is nice. Let's see. I'm currently wearing Michael says he's wearing the Orient Kamasu. I've seen a couple people wearing those there. That's pretty cool. And yeah, I think that is a fairly new colorway. It kind of stuck out. Plus, it was like one of the cheapest ones there. It was $99. Boom, Isaac. Nailed it. I could save myself like $600 or $500 if I just buy a purple Invicta. Oh, speaking of Invictas, I actually met up with a guy there. Let me find him. I subscribed to him. Let me see if I can find him because I'm super bad with names. I'm gonna forget his name. Oh crap! Where's it at? I gotta look for all of them now. Yeah, I'm doing it live. Whatever. So I met another YouTuber there that I hadn't met before, and I think he's in the Chicago area, if I'm not mistaken. So if we go, I'm going to actually bring his channel up and then I'm going to share it with you. He's not going to care. TrapVision 3D. Yep, there he is. He was super fun to talk to. Let's go here, share the screen. So I ended up subscribing to him. He's grown his channel. He's at 1.8 thousand. So if you want to have just a fun channel, go check out TrapVision 3D. He actually posted a video of the WindUp show. It's right here. I don't know how to. Oh, I can turn the volume down like this. So he just put music to it, but he did a good job editing it and meeting a lot of people. He didn't record. I don't think he recorded us at all, and he was wearing a purple shirt. So, but he was big into Invictas back in the day. I think he still actually does video Invictas. So that's why it stirred up that memory when you talked about Invicta, because Trap actually kind of built his channel on Invicta. So it was kind of cool to meet him there. We were actually, I don't know what booth we were at. I think we were over in front of Tsao. And I think we were talking about purple dialed watches. And he's wearing purple. So, like, I'm assuming he's a fan of purple. So I think we can fast forward here. So you can see, I haven't done my video yet. And I didn't even get this good a video. So go watch his video. Actually, I'll put a link to his video yeah, he got better video than I did. So I'll put a link to this video at the end of the show. I'll put it in the description. Give him a subscribe. Tell him I sent you. He condensed a 2-hour walkthrough down to 11 minutes of video. See, there's some more awards. Oh, here's those Formexes right here. See, they look good. Yeah, I think it looks good. See, I didn't even get this good a video. Trap's got a way better video. If you want to get a good video of the Warner One WindUp show, just go watch his video. Seriously. Like, I'm going to put mine together. And sadly, mine will probably still get more views than his, but his video is actually better. So, yeah, because he took the time to talk to everybody. See, I don't do that. I'm going to hire Trap to do my videos. All right, let's see. Where else did he go? See, I need somebody else to do the work for me. He did Atlantic. Yeah, I'll put a link at the end of the show, Michael. I'll put a link in the description so you can go back and watch it. And give him a sub, man. He's putting in work. What is this? The mains. Yeah, he did a way better. I'm embarrassed. Yeah, Gary, you're right. He was Trap, and I didn't even talk to him there. He said he was there, and I kind of remember seeing him though. Yep. He was wearing the purple Phoebus there too, Gary. He was wearing it at the show. Stella, I'm working with Stella again. They're gonna send me a couple watches to video. Great people, great watches. Very cool dials on those ones now. Nodus constantly crushes it. Maybe I could just start a channel and just review Trap's videos because he does better video than I do. Anordain. See, I didn't even. Actually, I think I forgot to even video those. I'm so bad. They have like amazing dials on those Anordains. Their dial process is crazy good. Let's see. Right, there's Paul. There's Paul. Paul just had a cameo. Yeah, he did great. There was a bar there. You buy like a ticket, and then you could get like different. They had like a few different beers to choose from, and then different drinks and stuff. So yeah, he did. But anyway, what I was going to talk about, I just kind of wanted to pull through that, but I hadn't see. This is that purple Phoebus he's been wearing. It's the limited edition Islander collaboration they did. But he said he had posted a bunch of Invicta videos. Oh, see, I got to go back and watch some of his old videos. You know what? Maybe I'll have him on the live stream, the live show. Maybe I'll invite him on or something. There's the Invictas. Look at rules broken. There's all the Invictas. Deep Blues. Yeah, it's legit. He's got some good stuff. Anyway, I'll put a link at the end. See, Tim says, what is the next Random Rob collab? We demand to know. So I'm still working with Wes and Cullen from Nodus. We had already had a design kind of nailed out for you talking about a watch collab, I assume, Tim. So we had already had a design picked out, and I essentially signed off on it. But then I got to talking, and I told them that I had worked with Zodiac on something, and Zodiac agreed to do a collab with me. And then they informed me that they couldn't do what I had proposed to do. So I'm like, well, then never mind. I don't want to do it. So I had told Notice about this, and Wes and Cullen were like, wait a minute. Tell us, because you're telling me that what you wanted to do, Zodiac wouldn't or couldn't do. And what Wes and Cullen are doing, they're kind of changing the industry in the microbrand world right now. They're doing so many cool things behind the scenes that it blow your mind. I'm not even going to tell you about it, but it's has to do with like production and with other brands and everything essentially. But they're doing it at such a level that is going to be amazing. So it opens them up to be able to do some pretty wild stuff. So when I presented them the idea that I had, they're still trying to formulate it and figure out a way to do it. It probably, if it will happen, it probably won't happen in 2023. It might happen in 2024, but it's going to be, in my opinion, it's going to be worth the wait, just because it's something that I want to see happen. Whether it resonates with any sort of community, I don't know. I don't really care. I just want to see it happen because it's something that's never been done before. Yeah, will 100%. Notice. I mean, it's when you say Notice, it's Wes and Cullen, and then whoever else they bring up. So it's Wes and Cullen that are killing it. You know what I mean? It's the work that they're putting on. They're starting to see the fruits of their labor, and that they're not done. They're putting in the work. So they actually just released I think it's on pre-order, a collab watch with what's the guy from the Smoking Tire? I was so bad with his name. I can't remember his name. You guys will tell me. So but yeah, they just put out a watch with them. It's on pre-order right now. So Will says I better get number 2. Well, you're going to be at yeah, thank you, Dwight. It's Matt Farah, or Will. Actually, Kevin hit it up first. It's Matt Farah. Thank you. But Will, you're going to be at the Mimos meetup. Wes and Cullen, or maybe just Wes will be there. I'm not sure, but one or both of them will be there Saturday for a minute. We might even go out after we're done with Mimos and maybe go to like a brewery or to a tiki bar or something like that and hang out with them. But so yeah, you can solidify that number two if it ever happens with him directly, and I'm sure he'll accommodate you. Yeah, actually, is that on their website? Let's go look that up. They didn't have a prototype there of it or anything. Yeah, see, I don't think it's. I think it's just on their social media or something. It's not even on. Yeah, if you go to the Nodus site, it's not even on. But it's the sector sport, but I think it's called the Canyon. It's a different color, but it's not here. So I don't. It's email. Greg said it's email only. It's just a special color. It's, if I remember right, it's kind of bluish, minty bluish or something like that, but it's called the Canyon. I'm not 100% sure on the color. I could be wrong, but that's kind of what I vaguely remembered. I don't know if I want to. You guys are texting me, but I don't know if I can. Okay. Yeah. Thanks, Will. Will just sent me the link. It's right there. That's the Matt Farah Nodus. So, yeah. I guess I can click on links and it'll load. So, yep, pretty cool. I don't know if they say how many they're making. I'm assuming not very many. Does it say? Wait list, image. I don't think it has a number on it. And the Nodex clasp, even like, oh yeah, Dwight, good point. It's solid point. So it actually has a Swiss movement in it, and that's because Matt Farah is actually kind of I don't want to say a movement snob, but he's a watch aficionado, and he definitely is spec'd it out. Like he wasn't going to be like, yeah, just put whatever in it. When he was probably talking to him, he's like, no, it has to have a Swiss movement in it. And I don't think Nodus has used a Swiss movement yet. So Dwight said there's 100 of them. Yeah, I don't know what you call that color. I don't know how they get the description. Like the Canyon features subtle nods to automotive design inspired by Matt's personal car collection. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how they get to that, but it is a cool looking color. In the case pack as a mist too. Plus, Matt Farah is kind of a big guy. He's got a bigger wrist. I don't know that he would wear this. I don't think it's that big of a watch. We'll see. Yes, Fedora Jet. He is particular to his caliber choices. That's fair. That would be a nicer way to say it. That's why you're such a good tour guide out there in San Francisco, because you don't use hard words, you use soft words. Aqua. Ginger Down Under says it's aqua. Looks like seafoam green. Yeah, same thing. Oh, I guess it's 40, 39, 41, whatever, somewhere in there. It'll probably wear large enough. Okay, so that is some of the stuff Nodus is working on. I know there's more. Yeah, actually, I would kind of agree with you. It does kind of have a Helios vibe to it. And that is something, weirdly enough, that hasn't happened to Nodus yet. And I mean, they do sell a lot of watches, but they don't have that like crazy quick sale, like how like the Zelos will drop and then poof, they're gone. And I don't know if it's just because they make more of them, and because like that watch right there, I don't know if they have these in stock. Yeah, it looks like they have it in stock. That watch is crazy good. Greg Wood, GH Wood in the chat was wearing that watch at the show, and it's an amazing watch. I have the left hand, the Destro version of it, and I like this one so much that I almost went for this one as well. So I'd have, but I don't want to have both. But the dial color on this one's better, so it is good. And there's still more they can do with this, so it's pretty cool. They can do more colorways. Weeby, did I get a chance to play with the Monta diver? So the new Monta diver, let's take a look because they had one there. He said I could come behind and I could check it out, but they weren't really letting people fondle with it because it's still in the prototype phase, and they were concerned that the oils from people's fingers was going to mess up the way that they hadn't coated the bezel yet, basically. So they had to like kind of keep it clean. So, but I mean, it's a great looking watch, and I don't even know if these pictures are going to highlight it as well. And this is one of those things that, because even Tim and one of the Monta owners and myself were out in the parking lot. We're talking about this, and and Tim, he likes to negotiate, so he was like kind of beating him up a little bit, trying to trying to get a deal on it. And Monta doesn't do deals; they don't do discounts or anything like that, and that's a choice. I really don't have a problem with it. No, it's not a smudge magnet. It's not a smudge magnet. What the issue is, they got a new bezel insert. And I'm on the live stream. There's only like 89 people here, so I'm going to say it. So the patent ran out on how Rolex does their bezel inserts, the way they construct them, the way they inlay them with platinum. So because the patent run out, now you can do that. Well, that's what this is. So the Monta Ocean King, the new one, is pretty ridiculous. The bracelet has always been amazing. They improved the clasp. The clasp is even more amazing. The bezel insert is basically like a Submariner insert. And then the handset, they went from being laser cut and then rhodium plated, I think they're rhodium, to like the next level, whatever the next level is. You know how like everything has different grades of better finishing, right? And their handset was already amazing, where you could look at them with a loop, but you could kind of see like the edge was like a little serrated. I mean, like it'll look super close, right? Well, to go to that next level, it costs like another $200 just for the handset or whatever. So now you got to pass that cost along, you know. So the indices are like platinum coated or whatever. Like it's okay, so I think, yeah, Dane, I think the next from rhodium would be, I think they're platinum. So I think they're platinum coated hands and indices. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Okay, so here's the issue. JP's question: do Monta hold their value? The quick answer is, whether I don't care if Monta hears this or anybody hears this. The quick answer is no. They just don't. So, like for example, I can't really show this on the screen, but if I go real quick on eBay and I look up Monta watches, well, I don't know. Some of these aren't doing too bad, but let me look to see how much they sold for on eBay. Now, keep in mind, some of the older ones, they cost less in the first place, and the new ones have been improved. Excuse me. So, like an Atlas GMT sold for $900. The SkyQuest GMT LE actually sold for a premium, sold or close to what it was worth, like $2,000. 1,500, 1,300, 1,300, 960. It looks like if you go below 1,000, you're not going to go much below 1,000. And then the SkyQuest seem like they're all selling for around 2,000. And how much is a SkyQuest? How much is a SkyQuest their retail? 24. So, I mean, what is that, like I don't know, percent wise? It was like a 15% hit or something. So I guess it's not terrible. That's not terrible. Are you going to get $1 for $1 on it? No. Kevin says going to wait for the secondhand deals, 44% off. I think in the open market you might get like 30 to 40% off. So, but But if you're going to go like on eBay, yeah, you're going to pay a premium. So I don't like buying used watches. And I know a lot of you guys are like, that's fine. I'll buy your used watch then. And that's definitely a smarter decision. Here you go. Kevin says the Sky Quest on Watch Recon, which sources from different places, anywhere from 16 to 1800. So what is the depreciation on that on a Sky Quest? Say it's 1600 from 2435. What is the percent drop on that? Who's good with math? Some of you guys probably know that off the top of your head. I'm not even going to get my phone out. Whatever that drop is, it's not 44%. Is it? Is that 40%? Well, okay, so here, yeah, used watches have cooties. Mike says support the brands. Mike, it doesn't matter. So it's 33%. That's not terrible. I would be fine with losing 33% if I wanted to flip it. I don't have a problem with that. Mike W says support the brands. Even if you buy a used, Mike, you're still supporting the brand because you bought one of their watches and you're wearing it. And guaranteed, whoever sold it is probably going to go buy another Monta later on. So I wouldn't. You don't. If you like buying the used watches, buy the used watches. They don't care. Monta doesn't care. Do you think they care if you bought one of their watches at 33% off used? They don't care. You're wearing one of their watches. They love it. Isaac says, if you could afford it, I would only buy a used watch from Rob. If I could afford it, I would only buy a used watch from Rob. Okay. I think I understand what you're saying. It's actually kind of smart to buy used watches from YouTubers in general. And here's one right here, Anonymous Watch Guy. He's sold a lot of watches because if you look at any of the YouTubers that are prolific where they put out a crap ton of content, chances are they have a crap ton of watches. And also the chances are that they don't even really wear those watches. So most of those watches are basically, they're not new because they're used. Once they leave and they go secondhand, they're used. Even if it's, I mean, most of the watches I get on here, even after I sell them, unless they go on a tour or something, I unwrap them. I might size the bracelet to show it on video, but then that's it. A lot of them I don't even wear because there's too many of them. So let's see. Pretty much brand new. Trying to read some comments here. Can validate buying from YouTubers an easy yes. Yeah. Well, and they're usually, somewhat accountable. So like if you have an issue or something like that, they're easier to call on the carpet, all of that good stuff. So, and yeah, it's good to do. Flipper's Paradise is good, is a safe haven as well. Actually, you know what? Let's jump over real quick because we're getting towards the end. Let's do that. I want to, because there's a lot of Discord members in here. Oh yeah, hold on a second. So Tennessee Mike actually bought one of Gary's watches, the Anonymous Watch Guy, and he said I peeled some missed stickers on one of the ones that he bought from Gary. That's how friggin' nice they are, right? He didn't even peel all the stickers off. Okay, so let's do this real quick. Let's go over to let's see what is in Flipper's Paradise. For the people that are not in Discord, first off, let's scroll down. I want to show you something because Paul didn't understand this. I don't think a lot of people understand this. This right here, can you see my cursor? This is how many tours are going right now. The Duckworth, the Sugis, the Fair and Sweat, San Martin, Detroit Mint, Deficiano, Zeebic, Cincinnatus, whatever that one is, another Fair and Sweat, Draken, Vero, Spinnaker, Seastern, Islander, Sika, Spinnaker, Velamore. That's how many tours are going right now. These are watch tours. So, I mean, I want people to join the Discord to support me and the channel. But if you get on the channel, you also have a bunch of other stuff. And this is one of the cool things right here. It's Flipper's Paradise. We'll just scroll up. We'll do this real quick towards the end of the show. I'm going to go a little over. It is what it is. Paul says, if I want to trade for Formex. I don't have a Formex Essence. I've already lost interest in the watch, Paul. I don't even want it anymore. It's basically, it's worth like $250. I learned my negotiating skills from you. So, plus I already have it. Like I already, so technically possession. So here's a swatch, moon swatch, the Earth in crazy good condition, catch and release. It is $290. Well, so there's a good deal. Here is, I don't know what this is. Furlan Mari sector salmon dial with a LJP movement, $850. I know MM10 likes his salmon dials. Here's a cool looking sin trade. I don't know what I'm doing or even TV at 46.75. Yeah, I have no idea what the value on those, but it might be out of the league for the flippers. I don't know. So the monster sold because I think Bean Boy sold that for 175 because he puts good prices on it, right? Here's a steel die for $60. The Bodberry already sold. Here's the watch that Tim won that he's selling for 350 that he got through TGN and so in my Discord, which is a paid membership, a tour is basically when I get watches in, I'll post it up, and then if you're a founder member level, then you put your name in the hat. Essentially, you say yes, I want in on the drawing to be on the tour because you'll get like 40 or 50 people that'll put in for the tour, but 10 people will get selected for the tour, and then you get to see the watch for like a week. And then you mail it to the next person. That's what a tour is. And at the end of the tour, it comes back to me, and then I can decide to either keep it or see if a few other people want to see it, or I'll sell it or something. That's all that is. Here's actually Fedora Gent, who's in the chat right now, has a Nodus Sector Sports Glacier, which he just picked up at San Francisco WindUp, and this thing looked great on your wrist. I can't believe you're already selling it for $425. I don't know how much those are new. I'll give you $200 for it. Tennessee Mike actually put the watch that I had on that I was wearing today for only $250. He already sold it, of course, and he included an orange FKM rubber with it, so that's gone. Smitty with a nice example of an SKX 007J made in Japan with a Clockwork Republic strap and some other bracelet and strap options for $450. I know that's might be a little high for some people if they grew up with the the $170 SKXs. But that's actually a good price. Swiss Watch Company USA, $300. Trafford Crossroads. Actually, Paul, that's in the chat, was wearing one of these at the WindUp show. So $300. Here's a nice Laco from Smitty. That's the one with the California dial in the middle. That's cool. Those are limited edition. $300. That's a really cool watch. I did a video on that. There's a Mito for $450. Comes with extra straps. That's a good deal. These are really cool. I just dropped a video on one of these not that long ago. Baltony quartz with deluxe, $150. Might have to go a little bit lower on that, Smitty. I don't want to pick on you too much, although it does come with a deluxe strap. That's nice because you can get some like sterile dial versions of those for like $100. They're pretty cheap. Park and NJ sold his Grand Seiko. That was awesome watch. Tudor Pelly 39 millimeter for $4,100. That's actually I have one in right here just for video. It's not for sale, but I have one right here. That's darn near, depending on your wrist size, that's darn near the perfect watch for a lot of people. Grand Seiko, this is such a cool one, very masculine and just great looking 9F quartz Grand Seiko. This would be a really good everyday watch. It's $1,900. JP says, what is my Discord? I can put some information down below in the description. You can't just join it. There's a process you have to go through, and there's an annual membership, but we're already like halfway through the year. So it may not make sense for you to join right now. It's hard to say. Let's see. Park Pie says, sorry that I missed it, but how was the new Ocean King? The new Ocean King is actually amazing, but they didn't have a full one that I could fondle there. But I did get a sidebar conversation with them, and as soon as they get the production models in, or the final prototypes anyway, I'm gonna be like early on the list. So I'll have that watch like right away. See, a lot of these already sold. Tuna's trying to sell some. He's got some cool stuff. Gerard Pergo. There's a Vair. I don't know some of these brands. Luminox. I'm going to be doing Sunday Fun Day here again soon too, guys. Yeah, Paul, I will be doing another one here soon. I actually have a couple on the table. Like this Ben Ross is going to be for sale. This Jeannot Silent Service is going to be for sale. This, actually, I was wearing it. Here, let me switch this up because I'm going to probably shut down here. This Bell & Ross is probably going to be for sale. I was wearing it because it like wears so freaking good. I started to ask Long Island John like how much it was, because I was like, man, that thing wears awesome on wrist. But I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if I want to pony up for it, but that's a really cool watch. It's a quartz one. It's incredibly thin. Paul just hit me up. This one's, I'm going to throw it on the time grapher, but this one's definitely scratched up. It's definitely been used. It is, it's got some legit scratches on it. That one's pretty thick, deep on the side of it. But I'll throw it on the time grapher, verify that it's good. But there'll be a good deal on that one. So if you want it, let me know. Because I also have like, I have down below, I haven't even unboxed a Richard Harvey, a Bulova, a Movado, a Bear Grylls, Luminox, a Hamilton, a Live watch. I have a Oris, Aquis. What else? I might have a few more. I got a pretty good Sunday Foundation coming up pretty soon. Let's see. All right. I think we can shut it down. Are we good? Anybody else? I think we're good. Was that Joe? Yeah, it was Joe Badger's, So yeah, it got used. It got used. But it'd be a really good, because it's going to be a more affordable way. Plus you can get it, because you can't even get those Jeannot silent services. Right now they're difficult to find. So it'd be a good way to experience one for pretty cheap. All right, let's see if we can get some lume. I think some of these lume. We actually have a couple of full lume dials, the Sigma. That new Citizen is awesome, full lume dial. What else? The Jeannot obviously does well. This mod watch does good. What is this one? Oh, that Islander watch. Even the Bell & Ross does pretty good. Tudor always good. All right, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next vid. End broadcast.